Testing 1 2 1 2. All right, mic working, video working. Hold on. All right. Let me get my share on real quick. Shalom Israel, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barak Thur to my brothers, Yahweh Shemar Elata Hashem, Yahweh Shah to my sisters. I'm priest and officer Rakar Ariyar of ISUPK down in Boston under Commander General Yohana. And what we do is we teach the Black, Hispanics, and Natives that they are God's true and only chosen people. And with that comes a responsibility of following these law, statutes, and commandments. But today is Monday. Today is the law class. We're going to get it with it in a bit. We're about to get into it real quick, but just let me continue sharing. We're going to get in on it. If you have any questions, write them down. Write down your questions. About to get into some history. Bear with me one sec. right, bear with me 1 sec. Still sharing. All right, let's get with it. Now we're going to start off this class with this is a history class, and today we're going to talk about black businesses, the history of black businesses, and what happened to them, where they go. You know what I'm saying? Because once upon a time, black businesses was thriving in America. Black businesses were everywhere. Black businesses was the black backbone of the black community, and things changed, and we're gonna get into what changed that destroyed it, and we're gonna get into the history of it real quick. But first, I want y'all to get to Deuteronomy 28. Let me put that in the comments real quick. Let me get up in the chat. If you have any questions, type them on in. All right, I typed it in the chat. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15 through 17. We're going to get into it a bit. All right. If you're there, we're going to read it. In Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. See, what you got to understand here is that we had a choice. The Most High presented us with a choice. He gave us the choice of life and death. You know what I'm saying? And with that, with life comes blessings. With death comes curses. You know what I'm saying? And we decided to not follow his laws. And by doing so, we chose death, aka curses. And with that being said, this is what happens. You know what I'm saying? Here's just one of the curses, a couple of the curses that I'm about to get into today. Just a couple of them. I might get into a couple more later too. But verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Man, we're going to be cursed in the city. We're cursed in the field. We're cursed no matter where we go, where we at. We're cursed in our own city, our own homes, where we live. We are cursed with black on black crime. We are cursed with drug activity. We are cursed with homosexuality. We are cursed with all types of promiscuous activities. You know, hoes, and just walking up and down the block. You know what I'm saying? All types of diseases being spread amongst the black community. We're cursed in our city. We're cursed in our field. What the field synonymous with? A field is synonymous with where you work. Field is synonymous about, you know what I'm saying, benefiting from the land, working off the land, or just trying to, you know, put in some work in and gain some benefit from it. And we're cursed in that too. We work in other people's lands. We are working everybody's land but our own. You know what I'm saying? We have no land. We work for everybody else. They call it employment. And in this employment, we're employed by everybody else, and we're getting the bare minimum. We're getting enough just to survive. And that's barely enough to survive. You got to remember the things that we get during this employment is the same thing that we were getting during slavery. The difference is our masters are not wasting their time providing this stuff for us. They'll give us some tender, some cash, some money, and have us go out and buy our own food, have us go out and buy our own clothes, have us go out and buy our own shelter, because that's all we get enough for. And that we barely get enough for that. We got to beg them to bend and twist some laws up so we be able to afford some homes, afford some apartments. We're cursed in the city and cursed in the field. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket in thy store. What is thy basket? What is a basket synonymous with? A basket is synonymous with the things that you hold things with. It's where you store things. You know what I'm saying? Our bank accounts. We store money in our bank accounts. Those bank accounts are empty. And today with automatic auto pay, with auto pay, that makes it even rougher. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying, people used to finesse the bills. Pay a little here, pay a little there, work with it. Nowadays, man, they take it straight out. They take it right out of your account. If you don't have enough, guess what? You're backdrafted. Those bills are going to get paid. Now you're backdrafted. Now the bank's going to add an extra fee on top of that backdraft. Man, that basket got mad holes in it, man. That basket is full of holes. You know what I'm saying? And that store, that's your businesses, man. Our businesses are gone. Our businesses are destroyed. All because we can't keep the law of separating from these heathens, separating from these people. Integration was a poison unto the Black community. It was. Integration was something that just straight up destroyed the Black community, because it destroyed the backbone of the Black community, which was Black businesses. And we're going to get into it a bit. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to drop that. I'm going to show y'all something. This is called Businesses Owned by Blacks Still Fighting an Uphill Battle. This is in the New York Times. This is a New York Times. And look at that date. It's by Reginald Stewart. In July 26, 1981. When this joint was written, I was literally 1 year old, man. This joint is 40-year-old article. 40 years old. Let's get into the article. 20 years ago, before racial segregation, laws, okay, let's start it over. 20 years ago, before racial segregation laws were wiped off the books and Black people became welcome as shoppers in the downtown stores, the Black business district anchored by 4th Avenue and 18th Street, I believe that's in Brooklyn, was flourishing with small service shops by the dozens. You hear that? This is just one block, one corner. He said by 4th Avenue and 18th Street. This is the businesses, Black businesses in that area. And it was flourishing in the 60s with small service shops by the dozens. You got little small mom and pop shops. So small get-ups, you know what I'm saying? Small restaurant here and there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a small car dealership, small repair shop. You know what I'm saying? 4 movie theaters on that one quarter. 4 movie theaters on that one block of corners. 4 movie theaters and several restaurants and small hotels. Damn. That part of Brooklyn was booming for black businesses back then. And this is 20 years before 1981. So that's 1961. That's before they enacted those civil rights laws, those laws of integration. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Today, there are abandoned storefronts, cleared lots, boarded buildings, and a handful of businesses. This landscape is representative of old black business districts across America. And the state of black-owned businesses generally is not much brighter. What is that telling you? That's telling you since the 60s, black businesses has declined. Now, what in the 60s happened that made black businesses decline? It was integration. It was Martin Luther King and his, you know what I'm saying, I had a dream speech. It was, you know what I'm saying, little black girls and little white boys holding hands, and is integration was the big change. You think it was motive? You think it was drive? You think it was pulling up our bootstraps? We were pulling up our bootstraps before integration. Black communities were thriving, were growing before integration. And now integration's here is just destroying it. But let's continue. It says they are today, I already read that part. Black owned businesses were decimated as a paradoxical side effect of desegregation. What does that mean? What does that mean as a paradoxical side effect? I mean, they didn't see that coming. It was something amazing that happened. It wasn't expected. Let me tell you something. Our enemies are very cunning. Our enemies are very smart. They understand fully what is going on. They understand that what Martin Luther King wanted. Martin Luther King wanted to go in white restaurants. He wanted to bring his date to the nice restaurants. They understood Martin Luther King wanted to bring his white girlfriend to the white movie theaters. They understood that they could take all the black dollars that the black community is growing with and steal it back and grab it back and put it back in their own filthy pockets. They understood that. You got to remember, before the 60s, an event that happened was the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre. You know what I'm saying? The fall of Black Wall Street. Why did that fall? There was a jealousy of how much the businesses was thriving. So you know how it goes. A white girl cries, a black man dies, you know. Some lies were told. Next thing you know, that boom. A whole massacre happens. Burning down of businesses and everything. They knew if they get rid of those black businesses, destroy the whole people. So, of course, within the civil rights movement, our enemies understood that we get their money, their businesses will fall. Because us as black people, we wanted to be amongst them so bad. We wanted to be amongst them so bad. It was something that needed to be done. It was our businesses just wasn't good enough. Our restaurants weren't good enough. You know what I'm saying? Our restaurant with our seasoned food and all the deliciousness that's in it, we wanted to go to their restaurants with the bland food. You know they don't season no chicken. They don't season nothing. But you want to take Martin Luther King wanted to take us and have us spend our money with them. With them. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back with it. Black-owned businesses were decimated as a paradoxical side effect of desegregation. And despite the emergence of a new generation of black businesses, competing in the general marketplace. Only marginal progress has been made in recovering the ground lost in this era of sweeping social and economic change. It just didn't work out. Oh, oh man, it didn't work out. It didn't work out for y'all. Oh man. What can they say? It didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we thought was going to happen. What was going on through a black? Let's say you was a business owner back then, and what was going on through your mind when all this was going on? You're like, yay, we got equal rights. We're equal, yay. Civil Rights Act was passed, yay. But your business is declining. It's declining. You're getting less and less of sales, and pretty soon you got to close. And now you got to get a job. But are you still happy about that integration? Are you still happy about that Civil Rights Act? Are you still happy about it? No, you wouldn't. But I know hindsight is 2020. But let's get with it. Let's continue. There are fewer than 500 Black-owned businesses operating in Birmingham today. This is in the 80s. It might be a little more today. It might be a little more today, but the problem is with today, they're not cohesive. These Black businesses ain't working together like they did back then. You know what I'm saying? There are fewer than 500 Black-owned businesses operating in Birmingham, as against more than 1,000 in the early 1960s. So that's 50% of the businesses were gone. It's probably more than 50%, but a few extra popped up to even it out. You know what I'm saying? But 50% of the businesses dropped. Black businesses dropped 50% in 20 years. That's crazy. According to a veteran Black business leader here, the statistics tell a similar story in cities across the nation where Blacks constitute a significant share of the population. New York, Washington, Richmond, Nashville, Jackson, Atlanta, Chicago, Kansas City. This is what this veteran business owner said. Desegregation improves social conditions. Hey, we can vote now. See, that's the illusion of it. The illusion is that desegregation improves social conditions. But did it? Did it? What social condition has it improved? What is not happening today that actually happened back then? What? Hangings? Hangings ain't happening? Michaela Miller was found almost a year ago, hung. They're going to call it suicide, but it ain't no suicide. Michaela Miller was hung. A few Black women, quite a bit of Black women were found hung. Quite a whole lot more Black men were found hung. Lynchings are still happening. I wouldn't be surprised if cross burnings are still happening. I wouldn't be surprised if tar and featherings are still happening. Because it's not in the news don't mean it's not happening. But this said desegregation improves social conditions. And we know it hasn't. But let's continue reading. It just didn't work out economically, said Jay McNeely Neal, a member of the Missouri legislature for 18 years, who has been the owner of Regal Pharmacy in Kansas City for 44 years. This brother was a Black business owner, owned a pharmacy. You know what I'm saying? Didn't join the Missouri legislature. You know what I'm saying? Became a politician. He said, I fought hard in the legislature for integration. This is what the brother said. He fought hard for integration. He fought hard for your kids to be in classes with school shooters. He fought hard for that. He fought hard for you to give your money to white restaurants. He fought hard for that. He fought hard for your son to be called raped on by a girl he thought he was dating. He fought hard for that. He fought hard for that. But, you know, everybody learns from their mistakes. Let's continue what the brother said. I thought it would work both ways, that whites would patronize black businesses. He really thought that, look, when there was the Jim Crow era, right, the black dollar was worthless to them. They didn't want to touch the money that your hands touched. And that forced our hand to spend our money with each other. Not a bad thing. But they smart enough, they said, hey, we're going to take their money. We're not going to give them none of ours. Those white shoppers did not come into black businesses. But black shoppers did go into white businesses. Black shoppers preferred to go to white businesses. That's what it was in the late 60s. That's what it was in the 70s and 80s, the 90s, 2000s, even until today. That's what it was. We would rather spend our money with them than with each other. That's why there's a movement about the power of the black dollar. It's a sad thing that there has to be a movement in the first place. But let's continue. 20 or 30 years ago, we had full thriving black business districts. Now it looks like graveyards. Districts have lost cohesion, like I was saying. Even the black businesses that did exist at the time, they lost cohesion. They wasn't facing the same type of detrimental peril as white businesses. So they thought they'd be better off clinging and depending on white people than with black people. Back in the day, the businesses worked together. Every black business had their money in a black bank. You know what I'm saying? They tried to get their supply from black distributors, which employed black people. See how that worked? But Martin Luther King comes around and y'all want to follow that dream. That dream is killing people. That dream is horrible. Matter of fact, hold on, let's go back to another scripture. Hold on, let's find it. I'm looking for a specific verse. There it is, Jeremiah 27:9. Let's get with it. Let's get with it. Let me type it in the chat. Y'all know how I do. All right, if you're there, I'm going to start reading it, all right? Hopefully you're there. Therefore, hearken not ye to your prophets, nor to your diviners, nor to your dreamers, nor to your enchanters, nor to your sorcerers, which speak unto you, saying, ye shall not serve the king of Babylon. Do you understand what's going on right there? Do you understand what's going on right there? Let me bring it back. Therefore, hearken not ye to your prophets, nor to your diviners, nor to your dreamers, nor to your enchanters, nor to your sorcerers, which speak unto you, saying, ye shall not serve the king of Babylon. Look, matter of fact, let's go to Jude 1 and 8. Likewise, also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignity. That's what MLK did. MLK defiled his flesh. Know how he defiled his flesh? MLK's had a white woman in college. That was before he met Coretta. He had a white woman. And that's why he joined the civil rights movement, because he couldn't be out in public with his white woman that he loved so much the way he wanted to be. He couldn't bring her to the good quality movie theaters. He couldn't bring her to the good quality restaurants. He couldn't bring her to all these places. He couldn't walk in certain parks with her. He couldn't drink from the same water fountain with her. He wanted to publicly display his love for his white woman. And that's why he pushed so hard for changes that destroyed the black community. He pushed hard for those changes. But let's continue. Speak evil of dignities. No, he despised dominion. He despised dominion. He despised the people that was in rule, because they were keeping him from what he wanted to do. Their rule was keeping him from displaying his love for his white woman publicly. If you understand interracial relationships, it's a sin to God. So Martin Luther King wanted to break God's laws, and the white man's laws were against him breaking that particular law. So he wanted to change it. But let's continue. And speak evil of dignities. He speak evil of dignities. What dignity? He speak evil of segregation. Segregation is righteous. Segregation is of God. If you read the Bible, God is all about segregation. He speak evil of that dignity. He believes it's not the way. It's not the way to go. And for him believing like that, he convinced a whole bunch of our grandmothers and grandfathers to think the same way. And with that thought, that destroyed the black community. Any chance that we had on a come up was gone at that point. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Let's get back to that article. What's going on? I clicked it. There we go. Joining the surviving enterprises and institutions set up primarily to serve blacks, such as small banks and insurance companies, are the new generation of black-owned businesses. These include automobile dealerships, which is crazy. They are proud of those automobile dealerships, but once upon a time, there was black-owned automotive manufacturers. There was a black-owned car manufacturer, which is dope because cars are a resource. Cars are literally resources, and we don't have that no more. We don't have that no more. We don't have no resources, period. But let's continue. These automobile dealerships considered the most prosperous kind of small business, and a few companies that market goods and services whose appeal reaches to the purchasing agents of giant corporations. But the newer businesses tend to be dispersed throughout metropolitan areas, and the once cohesive Black business district is no more. It's no longer cohesive. We're scattered, just like our people are. The businesses are scattered, and in being scattered makes it difficult to work together. Makes it difficult. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get a Black bank if you don't even know a Black bank exists. You're on the whole other side of town. You don't know that that's a Black bank. You walk past it a million times. You don't know if it's a Black bank, but if you stay next door to each other and you see who's opening up those doors every morning, you will know. But due to Martin Luther King, we don't know, and our businesses ain't working together. The businesses got to work together. You know what I'm saying? But hold on, there's one more thing I wanted to bring out in this article. Let me find it. Let's read this. One problem is that Black-owned businesses with national constituencies, such as insurance companies and manufacturers of beauty care products, have found that their counterparts, which once served only white markets, are now aggressively seeking the Black trade. You know what that means? That means, put like this. Imagine, I'm trying to think of a good example. Okay, imagine a chicken joint, right? Let's say there was a chicken joint back in the 50s that only served. You go in there, you walk in there, you want some chicken, you walk in there, and they're giving you funny looks, right? They're giving you funny looks. Now, let's fast forward it to the 80s, right? That same chicken joint now is predominantly only in Black neighborhoods. You know what that means? That means that these white businesses understand that they could get that Black dollar. And they are willing to blatantly take that Black dollar from Black businesses. Once upon a time, they only served whites. Once upon a time, they only served their people. Now they are aggressively trying to attract that Black dollar. What does that do to the Black business? And how wasn't that foreseen? How wasn't that foreseen? I mean, they got the white dollar. The white dollar is going to be loyal too. The white dollar will be loyal. But that Black dollar is a whore, and it will go to whoever. That Black dollar went straight to the white business. That's what happened. But let's continue. The Black-owned businesses have found it much tougher to compete for the white market because white people don't shop in Black businesses, and they won't shop in Black businesses. Only way they'll shop in Black businesses if it's entertainment. If we could entertain them, like they'll buy a record. They'll go to a basketball game. That's not even Black owned, but they'll support some Black employees. But what they won't do, they won't support a Black business. They won't. And it's understandable, they shouldn't. The problem is we shouldn't support them, but we do. That's the problem. But let's continue. Let's jump. There was something else I wanted to bring out in this. Due to the sake of time, we're going to go to another article. But I want to hop into a verse real quick. I want to hop into another Bible verse. Let's go to Lamentations. Is it 4 and 17? Lamentations 4 and 17. Let's go there real quick. If you got any questions, type them on in. Any questions, type them on in. All right. If you're there, I'm going to start reading it. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, Black, Hispanic, and Native people, as for us, Black business owners, as for us that was just getting beaten and dragged through the streets by our enemy, you know what I'm saying? As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help, man. Our eyes have failed us. We believed that integration was going to work. We believe it was going to help us. We believe it was something that was going to be a positive thing for the Black community. We thought that we'll be able to go to their parts, but we didn't think that they don't want to come to our side. We thought it would be a two-way street, but integration is really a one-way road, man. It's us going to them. Us going to them. They blatantly show you that they don't need us, they don't want us, they don't care to be amongst us, but we still want to show and beg for their love. We still want to beg for their love. You know what I'm saying? Instead of working together and building up our own communities. That's what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not help us. Know why they couldn't help us? Because they don't want to. They don't want to. They don't care to. They understand war, and they understand that we are not on the same side. And economic war is the basics and the most essential part of any war. Economic warfare is what makes the world, what makes anybody win a war. You can't win a war without some type of practice of economic warfare. By cutting off resources or something, you got to do something that will destroy your enemy's pockets. And that's what integration has done to the Black community. Integration has destroyed Black, Hispanic, and Natives' pockets. But let's continue. Verse 18. They hunt our steps. They hunt our steps, man. This was a divisive plan in their warfare. This was divisive. This was well thought out. This was well thought out. You thought they just tripped upon it? Oops. Oh, man, it didn't work out for y'all, man. Oh, man, but y'all can still come to our businesses and give us all your money. But, man, damn, it won't work out. Maybe we should have more white people go to... You don't hear that. Matter of fact, have anybody ever seen a white person with the Support Black Business movement? Have you ever seen a white person post that? You won't. You won't. You won't. You have not, and you will never see a white person post Support Black businesses. I doubt many white people even know that there are Black businesses. They're probably thinking Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're thinking. Def Jam, Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? TDE. Those are the only black ministers they know of. Entertainment companies. But let's continue. That we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Yep, they perfectly planned out how to destroy black businesses to the point black businesses are not safe, man. They're not safe at all. There's nowhere that it could go. There's nowhere that these black businesses could go. You know what I'm saying? Let's get with it. Let's get with it. Let's get with this joint. Let me bring this back to the top real quick so y'all can see the title. Black entrepreneurs during the Jim Crow era. Look at this. You got black women in a black salon. Look at that. That's a beautiful picture, man. That joint's dope. The joint's dope. You know what I'm saying? Then they got the white dude that played Jim Crow. Yes, Jim Crow was actually a character, a minstrel character, right? Make it even more disgusting. Jim Crow, if y'all remember that Disney movie, Dumbo, those crows that was on the telephone wires, the main leader's name is Jim, and he's a crow. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain part of this I wanted to get into. Look at that. Look at that. Look. The white only fountain, the black only fountain. It's not much different. Not much different. Okay, I'm going to start right here, right? Out of the demeaning environment of Jim Crow arose the opportunity for some African Americans to establish their own business. See, that means during the time of segregation, right? During the time of segregation, there was a movement, you know what I'm saying, that we had to work together. They was not taking our money. They did not want us near their businesses. So out of the Jim Crow era, black business grew because we had no choice but to. We had no choice but to. But let's continue. Let's continue with it. Man, I wish I knew how to make this magnet grow. You know, this joint as small as can be. But the more cut off that black communities became from white communities, and the more white businessmen refused to cater to black customers, the more possible it became for enterprising black entrepreneurs to create viable businesses of their own. We had no choice but to create businesses because they did not want to do business with us. I don't see the harm in that. I don't see it. Most of these businesses were local, small scale, and family run, which is not a bad thing. I know a lot of people want to be big deals and be on big major Fortune 500 companies, but just owning a family ran shop is a good thing too. Your kids will forever got a job. They can come home and work at the business and they can inherit the business. And to make it even better, the business is a trade. It's something that's passed down from one generation to the next, a skill that's passed down, which is something that a lot of Black, Hispanic, and Native people don't have. We don't have trades. We don't have inheritance, and we don't have none of that. But let's continue. Most of these businesses were local, small scale, and family run. Many Black entrepreneurs followed tenets of Booker T. Washington, which Booker T. Washington, I don't know if y'all know, but Booker T. Washington was talking black economics before it was a thing. He's talking about how we should get businesses going and working together on those businesses. He was talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Who had established the National Business League in 1900s to promote economic self-help. Washington advocated economic development as the best path to racial advancement and the means to eventually challenging the racial prejudice of Jim Crow. Let me tell you something. It would challenge the racial prejudice of the Jim Crow era because even white people tell you they only respect money. And the richer we got, you know what I'm saying, which would have been the more money we would have made would have been a example of our unity, of us working together. And that would have been more respected than us begging them to join them. It would have been more respected to work together. You know what I'm saying? And it would have been a better look. But then integration happened, and now that respect is gone. But hold on, let's continue with it. For racial advancement and the means to eventually challenging the prejudice of Jim Crow. While Washington's precepts would become increasingly out of step with the times because the times were changing, Washington was trying to look for a way to thrive in the Jim Crow segregation. And his ways was actually beneficial. But the times was changing. You know what I'm saying? The hunger and want to integrate was growing, right? But let's continue. Especially when the civil rights movement gained momentum, the support for his ideas among black entrepreneurs of the Jim Crow era is repeatedly evident in the naming of businesses after Washington, which makes sense because I don't got no evidence of it, but the only reason that would make sense to me is that they were sold the dream of having white patrons entering their businesses and giving them their money. That dream must have been sold to them. Is the only reason why I would imagine business owners detaching themselves from Booker T. Washington's business philosophies and going with the civil rights movement. It's the only thing that I can understand that makes sense to me. Yeah, but let's continue. Let's continue. Let's look at some of these things. You got look at that barbershop. There, where I can make it bigger. I don't know. I'll figure this out. Look at that barbershop. You got this woman right here. That's a woman working in the barbershop. See, this is the example of black feminism is not like white feminism. Black feminism, it didn't have the same struggles. So black women were used as a tool. See, white women could not work in a white man's business unless they were secretaries or something like that. They couldn't do things like that. See, black women, you think a white woman could have worked in a white barber's? No, they couldn't. But a black woman, you see it there, she cutting a black man's hair because it's not the same struggle. It's not the same struggle. We knew we was in the same in the same pan. We were in the same fire. We were in the same situation. So we supported each other. We looked out for each other. You know what I'm saying? That's most likely a family-ran barbershop. Was that Roger Clark's #1 barbershop on Davis Street in Atlanta? That's a black business right there. Black women were a part of the black business. Black women did not, there wasn't no issue with black women getting jobs amongst black businesses. That wasn't an issue. That's a white woman's issue. That's a white woman's problem. Black barbers had long cut. Black barbers had long cut white customers' hair as part of their traditional second-class status in service to white people. So barbershops was like black people cutting barbers' hair or white people's hair is like similar to being a shoe shine. Just a service. You know what I'm saying? They had black beauty parlors. We had black undertakers and funeral directors. You know what I'm saying? We had bars and taverns and liquor stores. You know what I'm saying? We had, look at this. Look at this right here. You know what this is? The Green Book. I remember this in high school. The Green Book was a book that black people made to tell black travelers. It was to tell black travelers, you know what I'm saying, where to go. You know what I'm saying? If you're traveling to a whole new town, the Green Book would tell you where you could walk, where you could go, so you won't end up walking into a white business and then hung a few days later. You know what I'm saying? So the Green Book was like a list of businesses that you could go into in certain towns and neighborhoods. So you could just go in and it's a black ran business and you're safe in there. You don't have that safety now. You can't even go into a Starbucks without getting kicked out. You know what I'm saying? You can't go into a nail parlor without some Asian beating you over the head. You know what I'm saying? You can't go buy some Skittles and an Arizona iced tea without some filthy not even a security guard. What was he? A community watchman, a community watchman, killing your child. You can't do it. You know why? Because we don't have the Green Book nowadays. The Green Book became pointless. And the Green Book is very well needed today. So we could go into black businesses where we could be safe. But integration, thanks to Martin Luther King, that is gone. That went bye-bye. So let's get into it. Well, what other stuff do we have? In fact, let's talk about this green joint real quick. It was one thing to frequent the businesses in your own neighborhood. But what happened when you took an out-of-town road trip? Where might you and your family inadvertently encounter hostility? You know what I'm saying? You're on a road trip, there's a good chance you might encounter hostility. You might encounter some aggressive Caucasians that want you killed because you walked into their business because you on a road trip. Remember, they won't even sell us gas, so you got to be careful on where you even got gas. But you're on a road trip, you can't even stop for food at certain places because they won't serve you, and you're liable to get hung. But let's continue. Be turned away, perhaps even risk your lives. Black postal worker Victor H. Green attempted to help black travelers combat this dilemma by creating the Negro Motorist Green Book. From 1936 to 1966, the Green Book offered a directory of safe places for African American travelers. This included not only the expected roadside amenities of lodging, service station, and restaurants, but also listing of many of the classic businesses found in local neighborhoods, like barbershops, beauty parlors, liquor stores, and nightclubs. You know what I'm saying? That was dope. That was dope. That's Black excellence. That's Black excellence right there. You know what I'm saying? We have Black schools, motels. You know what I'm saying? Where's a Black motel today? If you know a Black motel, type it in. We need to know where a Black motel or hotel is so they can get some business, man. You know what I'm saying? We had, of course, we had Berry Gordy and Motown, Black-owned record label, making Black music. But none of that's around today. None of that's around today. You know why none of it's around? None of it's around because of the pure selfishness of certain people and the lack of understanding that they had as a people. You know what I'm saying? We can't be like that. But we're going to get into another Bible verse real quick. Let's go to the Apocrypha. First Esdras, chapter 8, verse 85. All right, if you're there with me, you're there with me. All right, First Esdras, chapter 8, verse 85. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them, that ye may be strong. See, the problem is, us begging for civil rights is us begging to have peace with them. That's what that was, us begging to have peace with them. And with that, we became weak. We are a weak set of people. We are not built the way we should be. You know what I'm saying? We are weak because we want to lean on them. We are weak because we fear them. Let's be honest. The start of the civil rights movement was not just about entering the businesses and all that. It started off with the fear of lynchings. It started off with the fear of tar and featherings. It started off with the fear of cross burnings. It started off with them torturing us because they wanted segregation so bad that when one of us are even seen by them, violence is likely to happen. Violence likely occurred. Never mind with the extended situations of a white woman claiming she was raped by a Black man and the things that happened from that. The horrible things that happened from that. You know what I'm saying? Emmett Till died because a white woman said he smiled at her. And then that same white woman comes out on her almost deathbed and says she lied. Yes. Carolyn Durham is still alive. The woman that claimed that the woman that killed Emmett Till is still alive. Why is she being prosecuted? I don't know. But that's what happens when we integrate. That was a cloak over the fear of that. But the truth is, those things that we feared back then is still going on today. You know what I'm saying? Those things are still going on today. Emmett Till was killed. Guess what? So was Tamir Rice. Tamir Rice was doing what every kid does, is play with toy guns. Every male boy that ever existed plays with toy guns. They play with toy guns. And he was outside playing with a toy gun. And the police pull up on the scene, and in less than 2 seconds, kill him. They literally just hopped out the car. I don't even think they fully hopped out. I think he just opened the door and just bang, bang. That's how quick it was. Less than 2 seconds, killed Tamir Rice. So nothing changed from before desegregation. Nothing changed. And you notice they use that term desegregation more than they use the term integration? Because that's what it was. They just stopped the separation of us. The integration hasn't fully worked. It's not really happening. Because the Black community integrated into the Caucasian community. Caucasian community did not integrate into the Black community. That's why the Black dollar suffered. That's why Black businesses suffered, because integration did not work. It did not work, and it will not work. It will not work. That white dollar did not come into the Black community, and it's not coming in today. Like I said before, you have not seen one person that is of the Caucasian descent post a post saying support Black businesses. You have not seen that. Know why? Because they don't, and they will not. Supporting Black businesses is not something that they'll do. You know what I'm saying? So let's read the scripture from the top again. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them. We should never seek to have peace with them. That was our problem. Excuse me. Seeking to have peace with them was our problem. Our problem was trying to be buddy with them. Like, hey, we can go in their restaurants now. Hey, by us going into their restaurants and giving them our money, you know, maybe they'll like us. Maybe they'll stop lynching us. Maybe they'll stop tar and feathering us. Maybe they'll start loving us and stop hating us. No. There's nothing that could quell that thirst of blood they have for us, not even our money. Because our money's never really our money. It's really theirs. Their faces on it. So it's supposed to come back to them regardless. But in the Jim Crow era, just know this. We had our own businesses. We had everything. But let's go into some examples of stuff that we had popping before integration. Let's go into that real quick. Let's see what that looked like. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what some of these businesses were that we had. All right, y'all see this? Five of the first Black-owned businesses you should know about. These are 5 of the Black-owned businesses you should know about. You know what I'm saying? These are some of the first in their fields. They ain't put that in there, but it's some of the first in their fields. You know what I'm saying? But let's get with it. Black History Month is the perfect time to learn about the more lesser known aspects of Black African American history. I don't want to get into it. I'll save that for another time. These successful Black-owned companies were some of the first of their kind and paved the way for the many African-American entrepreneurs who came after them. That sounds great, right? Look at this. North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company. When did that start? Founded by one of the most influential Black businessmen in 1898, Charles Clinton Spaulding. In 1898, we founded our own life insurance company. Because why would we have to do that? Well, it's simple. No white life insurance company was putting out insurance on a Black man. No, that's too much high risk for them. That is too much high risk. They knew that we were going to get killed at some point, quicker than ever. So we had to come up with our own life insurance company. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they're still around. Hold on, let's read it. Became the largest Black-owned business in the nation. Today, the company is located in Durham, North Carolina. So yeah, the company still exists even to this day. Most High in Christ. North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance. I might try to get a life insurance policy from them. I should do that. Johnson Publishing Company, established in 1942. Once again, before segregation. Before integration. Johnson Publishing Company became the largest Black-owned publishing company in the nation. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. Pearl College. Well, you know how that go. 1918. So many of the historical Black colleges and universities, the HBCUs, all of them were created before the 60s. How many were created after the 60s? None. Not one Black, Hispanic, or Native college was created after integration. You know what I'm saying? And then you have TLC Beatrice. You know what I'm saying? TLC Beatrice International, which is Beatrice Food, was established in 1894 under the name Haskell and Bosworth, after changing its name to Beatrice Food. You know what I'm saying? Company to represent the change from dairy food to grocery products. It was sold to Reginald Lewis in 1987. I think that says, hold on. 1987. The Harvard Law graduate went on to grow the business to the first African-American built billion-dollar company, TLC Beatrice International. I wonder if they're still around today. I never knew that. I knew it before I actually read it, but because I read all this before class, but that's dope. Like I was mentioning earlier. Y'all see this? C.R. Patterson and Son Company. After escaping slavery in 1861, Charles Richard Patterson, look, this man had to escape slavery in 1861. Now let's go back to that insurance company. In 1861, he escaped slavery. And in 1898, a little over 30 years later, there is a Black-owned insurance company. That tells you integration was more positive for Black people than we're taught in schools. You know what I'm saying? Patterson would go to organize one of the most successful carriage building firms in 1893. So he started off building carriages, right? The firm assembled 28 types of horse-drawn carriages and employed roughly 10 to 15 people of color. So 10 to 15 people building 28 different types of horse carriages. When Charles died in 1910, his son Frederick converted the carriage company into the first African American owned automobile manufacturer. So we was making our own cars. Like everybody like to say the Cadillac is a black man's car, but it's not. Cadillac's owned by white people. But guess what? C.R. Patterson and son. That's a black owned car. That's a black car, not a Cadillac. You know what I'm saying? Those are just some of the businesses that we had. We had movie theaters. We had a whole lot of other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is we was chasing their prosperity. But check it out. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them, that ye may be strong and eat the good things of the land. Unfortunately, by us seeking their peace and begging for integration, we currently do not, you know what I'm saying? We currently do not, hold on. We currently do not eat from the good of the land. Know why? Because we have no land. We have no land, and let's continue. And that ye may leave the inheritance of the land unto your children forevermore. We gave away our land. We gave away our businesses. We gave away our property just so we could get a hug from our enemy. Just so our enemy could say that we're good black folk. They some good black folk. They come in here, they spend their money with us, and they're not bad black folk. But the rest of them out there, no, they horrible. Look, integration did not solve nothing. Integration is a problem. You know what I'm saying? It is a problem. It was a problem. You know, and it will be a problem because we have nothing. We will not gain nothing if we're forever dependent on our enemy. I know the scriptures say we should serve them for the one of all things, but there was a chance, there was a moment of time where we didn't. We depended on each other. And that's a beautiful thing. Let's go to another scripture. Let's go to Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourself together, yea. Gather together, O nation not desired, man. Once upon a time, man, they did not desire to have business with us. We were undesirable. Our money was undesirable, man. They hated everything about us. But with us gathering together, it became tolerable. We were working together. Our businesses were growing. We were flourishing. Everything was looking good. And then boom, integration happened. You know what I'm saying? Integration happened by some of the slimiest people on this planet, man. You think they have your best interests at heart? Nah, they don't. They don't. They don't. But there are black businesses today. I don't think it'd be right for me to even end this class without talking about them. Let's get into it. Let's see if I can find a good one. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right. 60 plus Black-owned businesses to shop now and forever. We're going to talk about some Black-owned businesses, man. All right. We got some Black-owned beauty companies here. Your sisters love to look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Which is not a bad thing. If you want to look beautiful, look beautiful. But we about to talk about it a bit. Because the scripture says, gather together, O nation, not to desire, see? And that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to help us gather our funds and help support Black-owned businesses. Now, let me tell you something. We got some Black-owned businesses in the UPK. We got, you can go search up Captain Tazariak's TLC, Tazariak and Lily's Creations. They got some beauty care in there, some body butters and all that. They got some good stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? Some beautiful fragrances. You know what I'm saying? Check out Captain Tazariak's TLC. It's on Etsy. He's on Etsy, which is ETSY. You also got UPKFL Wear. Go to upkflwear.com. You know what I'm saying? That brother got a conglomerate of brothers selling fashion merchandise on that website. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of Black businesses out there. And if you can, type in your Black businesses. If you own a Black business, type it in. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to get these funds together and segregate our money from them. Segregation is not always a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back with it. Let's talk about it real quick. We got Alafia. Alafia offers sustainable fair trade skin and hair care products for the whole family, from shampoos to face and body washes in large sizes at affordable price points. You know what I'm saying? Good Housekeeping Sustainable Package Award in 2019. Well, who cares? Good housekeeping, it's not a Black thing. Be Love employed formerly incarcerated individuals as a way to offer them a second chance at establishing new life. You know what I'm saying? The company makes everything from honey to honey-infused skincare products, like indulgent body balms and sugar scrubs. That's dope. That is dope. Then you got Beauty Stat, a trusted source for beauty and skincare advice. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me get that. Bang. Copy, bang. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me, y'all. Pop that right in the chat. Bang. No, then we got Brio Geo. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. We got some things out here, man. And then we got Camille Rose. You know what I'm saying? Camille Rose is known for its collection of skincare products and an array of delicious scents and textures. See? Condition Her. Eugenia Shea. See Beauty. London Grant Company. We got some beauty products out here. You don't always got to go to the Asian man for beauty products. Because you know those Asians like to corner a market for black people. They don't even use the products themselves, but they will sell it to us in a heartbeat. Inclusivity. UOMA. Inclusivity is what this makeup brand offers with a vast range of shades and foundations. You know what I'm saying? That's another beauty company right there. Bookstores. We got Brave Kind Bookshop. You know what I'm saying? We got Cafe Con Libros. Loyalty Bookstores. The Lit Bar. Opened on National Indie Bookstore Day in 2019 as the only bookshop in the Bronx. Today it serves the community it calls home with events, a wine bar, and a mission statement that's as lit as the spot itself. Founder Noel Santos has created a space where you can find a new favorite read with a glass of something in hand. And we're here for it. All right. I ain't mad about that. Semicolon Bookstore. Clothing and accessories. You know what I'm saying? We got Coco Breezy. Fanman. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie, Lim, Lily's Creations. Maison de Mode. Mixed Millennial. Nude Bar. My Shades of Shade, SPGBK, Thrillin', Zuzu, Food and Drink, A Dozen Cousins, McBride's Sister Collection, Cool Coffee Click, Pip Snacks. I heard of Pip Snacks. I didn't know they were black owned. Now I'm going to eat some Pip Snacks. Trade Street Jam Company, Salt and Sprinkles, taught Jack Daniels, yes, that Jack Daniels, how to make whiskey. His story known to as many people as possible. As he did just that by founding Uncle Nearest, a premium whiskey brand in honor of Nearest, the first known African-American master distiller. It's not bad. I had it quite a few times. I had it. Zach and Zoe's Sweet Bee Farm, Sienna Sauce, Health and Fitness. You got Alley Extension, Culture Fit, Ethel Club, Ivy's Tea, Lumi Bloom, Unique, Priska's Art, Prue Apparel. See, there's plenty of black businesses out here. Home and Give, Aromaology, Be Rooted, Bespoke Benny, Brilliant or BS, Boule Road Textiles, Marabou Designs, Claire, Copper and Brass Paper, Effie Paper. Look, we got paper companies, y'all. Wow. Goody World, Good Vibes All-Purpose Cleaner, Joe Monroe, Lenoto, Show and Tell, Pivot, Timeless Goods. We even got Parenting Dolls. You know what I'm saying? Just Like Me Box, Kid Swag, Little Light Kids, Miles and Milan. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of black businesses out there. You know what I'm saying? We just got to start supporting each other. Hold on, what is it? Oops. It said oops something. I don't know what it said. We just got to start supporting each other more. You know what I'm saying? because it could get rough out there. It could get rough. In the Bible, we have our own business laws. We have a group of laws on how we should conduct business with each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing. This ain't the law class, but just know that once upon a time, we had everything that we once needed. But integration ruined it. And with that, shalom.